Things that we need to know about the Earth's water. So our first subtopic is ocean water. Ocean water is a huge body of salt water that covers about 71% of Earth's surface. The planet has one global ocean, though oceanographers and the countries of the world have traditionally divided it into four distinct regions: the Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, and Arctic Ocean. Oceans or sea water is a complex mixture of 96.5% of water, 2.5% salts, and smaller amounts of other substances, including dissolved inorganic and organic materials, particulates, and a few atmospheric gases. The importance of ocean water. First, breathing. Right from the word go, we rely to the ocean to just breathe. 50% of life-giving oxygen comes from the ocean. Tiny plankton and the ocean's plants absorb carbon dioxide and through a process called photosynthesis and releases oxygen back into the atmosphere. So every time you breathe, half of the oxygen you take in has come from the ocean. So we literally need it to survive. Number two, weather and climate. The ocean drives our weather and climate. In fact, 98% of the heat from the sun's rays are absorbed by the ocean. This heat is then moved around the earth via currents, so the warm water at the equator is moved around the earth up to the poles. Water cycle. The ocean plays a key part of the water cycle. When the sun shines and the warm currents hit the ocean, water evaporates. This is not also forms clouds, but also increases the air temperature and the humidity, creating weather. The clouds then get blown back over the land, then it rains, and this water is used by every living thing on the planet before making its way back to the ocean. Without this process, most of our planet would be desert. And history of the ocean. When the Earth formed about 4.5 million years ago, the ocean is just where the land happens to be covered by water. The seafloor is geologically distinct from the continents. It is locked in a perpetual cycle of birth, destruction that shapes the ocean and controls much of the geology and geological history of the continents. So, there's a video about how the Earth was formed.
3/4 of Earth is covered in water. It's why it's called the Blue Planet. But imagine Earth without its oceans. And instead, with all the water in the world gathered together in a ball. There's not that much, really. But this water is what makes Earth different from every other planet in the solar system. The oceans have been here for almost 4 billion years, carving the coastline, driving the climate, and controlling the destiny of life itself. But 4.5 billion years ago, when our planet was born, it was just a molten inferno. There was no place for any liquid water at all. Yet the ingredients needed to create water were there, locked away deep inside the Earth when the planet formed. As the first volcanoes erupted, one of the gases that billowed out was steam. And as the planet cooled, it formed clouds. It rained for thousands of years. As the first rivers formed, they began to fill up the lower-lying areas on our young planet, possibly creating the first oceans. But it's reckoned that even this relentless downpour only delivered around half the water that makes up our oceans today. The rest came from outer space. This is a comet, filmed in 2005. It's about 4 miles across, and like all comets, it's made of rock and water in the form of ice. To discover just how much water comets contain, scientists deliberately crashed a space probe straight into it. After it ploughed into the surface, more than 250,000 tons of water burst into space. In Earth's formative years, it was hit by thousands of comets like this. By the time the bombardment finished, it's thought they'd delivered up to half the water in our oceans.
So that's one of the history of the ocean. So we can watch another video, but let us proceed to another subtopic of the Earth's ocean.